Hello everybody, if you're new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. And yes, I know it's been a minute since I've uploaded, but I'm finally getting back into the swing of things, and I promise we're getting back to these builds. And eventually, I will be getting Jurassic World Evolution 3. But for now, we're sticking with Jurassic World Evolution 2 and seeing just how much we can create with it. But for the first build back, I wanted to do something a little more personal. I actually grew up here in Kansas, and honestly, Kansas is home to me. So I thought, what better way to start getting back into this build series than by building the place I love most, home. So today, we're taking this flat map and turning it into the great Kansas Prairies. And with that being said, let's get right into today's build. The first thing I started working on was the rolling hills and valleys that you would see throughout the Great Prairies. About said plains. The plains and the prairies are very different. One is submerged in water and the other is a grasslands. But besides that, I wanted to make sure the terrain wasn't just completely flat, so I spent some time sculpting out these hills and valleys and giving the landscape a little bit of elevation. Once I had the hills and valleys the way I wanted them, I started laying down the grass. I used a mixture of bright green grass, more yellowish looking grass, and some flowers mixed in there to give it a more natural look. After that, I started working on one of the more tedious parts of the build, the very long grass. Instead of holding down my mouse button and creating one giant field of tall grass, I decided to individually click and place it throughout the map. This took a while, but it made a huge difference because I could control exactly where the tall grass was instead of having it look like one giant wall of grass. So I went around the entire map doing this, adding patches of very long grass throughout the prairie. Once I was finally done with all the grass, I decided to add some small areas of forest. The Great Prairies aren't just completely open grasslands forever. So I wanted to create some sparse, temperate forests scattered throughout the landscape. I kept these forests pretty open instead of making them super dense because I still wanted the prairie to be the main focus of the build. After getting all of that finished, I started working on a small isolated pond. I surrounded the pond with a bunch of tall grass, then started placing cattails around the water. And once again, I wasn't holding down my mouse. Well, I was holding down my mouse and spraying long grass around this pond. But I was individually placing the cattails around the pond to make them look a little more natural, because that was the only way I could place them. But they looked good in the end. I even placed some of them partially submerged in the middle of the pond to give the water a little more detail. And finally, at the entrance of the pond, I placed about 3 or 4 weeping willows. These are honestly such pretty trees, and I think they fit really well around the pond. And I gave this little area a completely different feeling from the rest of the prairie. And with all that finished, the Great Kansas Prairies build was finally complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another build. And comment down below what you guys would like to see me build next, because I'm always looking for new places to recreate, to build, always looking for a new idea. And I will shout you out if you do give me a good idea. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Much love from Charlie, or as you guys know me, Primal. And as always, bye-bye!
Them and said she told me so. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so.